This is the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD ZR2, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to give you every detail that you need about this truck. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. The exterior color on this truck is going to be sterling metallic. The interior will be jet black with gray stone. Now you will find several additions here. That's going to include the off-road tuned suspension. You're going to find a 1.5-inch lift on this truck. So typically it would be 10.1 inches. That means in this case your ground clearance is going to be 11.6 inches. We're going to have our red recovery hooks and the ZR2 specific grille. We're going to find the bow tie badge here with that red interior right there and the ZR2 badging in a couple of different places. One thing that will also be here that is not unusual will be your full LED lighting. That's going to be your LED headlights, your daytime running lights, your LED fog lights, and these are your locator lights, these animated lights that you see right here as far as that effect goes. 18-inch wheels at all four corners. You will find the 18-inch spare on the rear of the truck back there underneath the bed. And obviously, this will be the 6.6 gas burner under the hood. In this particular case, the 10-speed transmission, another ZR2 badge right there. Now, as far as your lighting goes, I'm going to show you something here. Like I said, this is going to be a detailed tour, so it might be a little bit long, but we're going to push these two buttons right here. And what exactly does that do? We're going to have the lighting here on the inside and outside of these power adjustable heated side view mirrors. There's a lot more going on here than just that. The one thing I do wish was different here is being that they're power adjustable, only this area is power adjustable. This one you're going to have to adjust manually. Maybe not a big deal for most people, but that's not all we have to talk about here. They're also going to be power folding, and you can actually go into your center screen and set it up to where those fold automatically when you lock and unlock the truck, unfold when you unlock the truck. The button in the center right there allows you to extend the mirrors for your towing needs, and something that I am really thankful for because of the ground clearance of this truck. I drive a 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 that is at stock ride height, so getting into this truck is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I really like having the assist steps. They've got that graphite material on there, kind of like grip tape on a skateboard, that gives you that sure-footedness. This button right here is passive entry. That's going to allow you to lock and unlock all four doors. I do wish that was going to be here as well. That should be, in my opinion, an automatic default feature. If you have it on the front doors, it should be on the rear as well. Here is the key fob, or the remote lock, unlock, remote start. You can open your power tailgate, and you will also find your panic button right here. You can actually use this button to get the mechanical key out if the key fob battery dies or the battery in the truck dies and you need to get in. You can use the lock right there. We're going to have our bed steps right here. That's not all we have to make it easy to get in and out of this bed if you need to, or at least reach in there. You'll also have the corner steps or the bumper steps right here. And once again, just like we saw with the front lights, the lighting here on the rear is also going to be animated. Now, it may not look that bright, but I can tell you it is super bright when it is dark outside. We'll also have our in-bed lighting with that LED lighting. The cab light will be up there, and also our light right here on the rear, just to make it easier with the illumination back here for your towing needs, for hitching up to a trailer, all that good stuff. And everything you need to hitch up to a trailer with your lights is going to be here. You will find the multi-flex tailgate. We're going to have the other settings or hookups inside. Also the 120-volt power outlet right here. Your spray-in bed liner with your multiple tie-down points. Now, if you're wondering about this tailgate and how this works, let me show you real quick. We'll try and go through this as fast as we can. Now, you're going to have this area right here. You can use that as a table. You can bring this up and use that as a bed extender if you need to. We'll run here and close that, and then we can do this. Now, if you want to use it as bed extender number 2, you can push that up just like that once again. But that's not all you can do here. It makes it easier to gain access to the rear area for tying and untying, taking advantage of your power outlet right there. when you drop this area right here. So I like that. That just makes things a little bit more simplified. That's also a step. So that's going to be super beneficial with the height of this truck. The one thing that's missing here is that as of 2026, you no longer have that grab handle that you can put up in place right there. For me, that made things a little bit easier as far as getting in and out of the bed of my truck. So it would definitely be easier here with this additional 1.5 inches of ground clearance. If you go with this particular engine combination, the 6.6 gas burner, you will find that that scoop in the hood is not actually functional. This is a 6.6 naturally aspirated gas burning V8 that puts out 401 horsepower and 464 pounds-feet of torque. It will be mated to that 10-speed automatic transmission that I mentioned earlier. 0 to 60, about 7 seconds flat, top speed roughly 105 miles per hour. The gas tank size will be the same, or fuel tank, depending on if you have the gas burner or the diesel engine under the hood, at 36 gallons. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to get around 468 miles in the city, 612 miles on the highway. There are going to be a lot of variables that determine if you reach those numbers or not. You could be above, you could be below, depends on where you drive and ultimately how you drive. The rear gear ratio is 373. Plenty of room with the armrest. It's nice and comfortable. We're going to have our nice contrast stitching here. It's not typical as far as the color combination you're going to find on a lot of these Chevrolet Silverados. And the nice large door bin right here, and the bottle holder right there, power windows, and the seat cushions will fold up on both sides. As you can see, you can find everything you need to change your tire here underneath the seat. We're going to knock that back down right there. Something that I really like about these trucks is the in-seat storage that we have right here. That has come in so handy for me, just with additional space. We'll find the rear seat pockets, and I'm going to see here, let's see if I can climb on up in here. Rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, cup holders on the rear of the center console, everything for your heated seats to turn that on, your air conditioning vents, and you'll also find the USB ports right down here. No sunroof in this particular case. For me, that's a good thing. Some people may or may not like that. And you'll find your rear window defogger, the power sliding rear window. I love that we have this little latch right here that you can pull on to bring the fold-down armrest down with the cup holders built in. You'll also find the all-weather floor mats that are going to be here in the front and rear seating areas, and by no means is there a shortage of space. There's a ton of space in the front and back seat areas. When you hop into this truck, you're going to find the animated graphics that come up. You can see what comes up there on the driver's display, but here are our animated graphics that you get on the driver's display and the center screen. Just to show you what's here, it's here, it's part of what you're paying for, you might as well know about it. The sticker price on this truck is $77,290. Let's see what else you get for that price beyond what I've already shown you. You're gonna have a nice head-up display that is fully adjustable. The controls to adjust that are right here. You can adjust the height, the info, and the brightness. If it's not bright enough, you can brighten that up. Pretty bright already. Easy to see, that works really well. We've got the digital rear view mirror here, as you can see. Now, if you want to use that as a conventional rear view mirror, just drop the latch right there, and that will take care of that, the lever. And then we can adjust things here, depending on what we need to do. Here's where you choose what you adjust, and here's how you make your adjustments. You can adjust brightness. You can adjust the zoom if you want to zoom in or zoom out. You can also adjust the position. And so quite a bit going on there as far as that goes. Home link will be right here with the 3 buttons, 3 different options. That's the control for your power rear window that I told you about. And you'll have everything else here for OnStar and all that good stuff. You can turn your lights on and off depending on what you need to do with that. And then we're going to find that we have the upper glove box, first of all, right there. And then we're going to have our lower glove box. Plenty of space with the door bin once again, and the armrest, nice and large. Power adjustable seats that are going to take good care of you as far as that goes. Everything you need is going to be here. They're heated and ventilated. That's always going to be nice. We'll also find the heated steering wheel. The button is right here. One thing I do think that all vehicles should have, if you have seat memory on the driver's side, it should also be on the passenger side. The controls for our side view mirrors are here. You can choose which mirror you are adjusting right there, and you're going to have your one touch down windows in the rear, one touch up in the front and one touch down. However, you do need to hold that control up to bring your rear windows back up. That's going to make things a little bit easier ahead of time, so you already know about it. Everything for your lighting controlled right here, and then your power parking brake is there. Your drive mode selector is here, and everything for going into four-wheel drive or out of four-wheel drive. And speaking of driving modes, what do we have? Well, you're going to have normal, off-road, and then we can go into tow haul mode, as you can see over there on the right-hand side, by simply pushing the button right down there. Now, steering wheel mounted controls, everything for adjusting what's going on with the driver's display right here. I'll show you more of that in just a second. Cruise control right here on the rear of the steering wheel. Let's see if I can give you a look at that. Everything for adjusting what you're listening to on the left side. On the right side is your volume control, and you will also find your conventional steering column mounted shifter. Now, if you want to make changes to the driver's display, guess what? You can do that. You can change the display layout. I'm going to show you. All I'm doing is using the scroll wheel right here. I just scroll down to say progressive. I can push the scroll wheel. That changes the overall look. And you have several different views depending on what you want. And then you can individually change what's on the left side, the right side, lower. All of that's going to be here, the units. And in the event that you get to a point where you say, you know what, I don't like what I have, you can reset to defaults and you'll be good to go with that. And we can go through several different options here depending on what we need to do with the arrow keys right here, voice commands, all that good stuff is going to be here. A little bit of storage space behind your 13.4-inch touchscreen. And speaking of that screen, you're going to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can wirelessly pair your smartphone, take advantage of that. The Play Store, Google Assistant is here. And you can adjust the air conditioner with Google Assistant if you need to do that. But I like that you have your physical controls down here. As you can see, everything is there. And you have cameras everywhere on this truck. It looks really nice to be able to see everything you need to see, whether it's the front view or the rear view. We're also going to have the overhead view right here, your side view mirror views. Come right here and you can see your trailer hitch view if you want to take advantage of that. Also the bed view, and you can zoom in if you need to, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what all is here. And see right there, see what I just did? That brings up the overhead view right here. So if you're wondering about that, that is how that is going to work. Now, you've got built-in maps. You can go in and deal with your phone and your connections. Trailering is here, climate, everything you need. You can see it all. That is here. In settings, there are a few things to talk about here. I'm not going to cover everything, but we can cover a few things here that I know a lot of you like to know about. We're going to go into vehicle here. Teen driver mode, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, all of that's here. And then we're going to have our safety features, the collision and detection systems. You can adjust your alert type, automatic emergency braking without a tongue twist, front pedestrian braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert, park assist tow bar, and rear cross traffic alert. By the way, with adaptive cruise control, you can use that when you are towing a trailer. So that's something that I know people have asked me about. Like to make sure I cover that. Now, a couple of things to note here. If the locator light, those animated lights I showed you on the front and rear earlier, are not on, this is where you come. Make sure that's checked and it's green like that. And you can also come in here and change your exit lighting and the time with that. And that's not the only thing I want to show you here. We're going to go to comfort and convenience and remote mirror folding. That is not turned on right now, but that's what you turn on if you want the mirrors to automatically fold and unfold when you lock and unlock the truck. A little bit of USB connectivity right here. We're going to also have our trailer brake control here, button to start and stop the engine. A little bit of storage space right there, and our cup holders. Plenty of room with the armrest to use as, or excuse me, the center console lid to use as an armrest, and space within that. Now you can remove that tray if you want to. And one thing I do want to cover is what we have right here. This is another 120 volt power outlet, wireless charging pad, and more USB connectivity. Have you noticed what is not here? That is going to be a 12 volt power outlet. It's not here. Some people tell me it's right here. It's not. Not sure why These GM trucks don't come with that as far as the 15 and the 2500s, Chevrolets and GMCs, but that's the situation. The one thing that I don't like with my personal truck, my GMC Sierra, is the wireless charging pad, because the phone does not stay connected to it all the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. A little bit frustrating to deal with. I wish there was a way to lock the phone in here. Even with this lid down, it still doesn't do it because there simply isn't enough space there or anything that's coming down to lock that in place. That would work really well. Hopefully that's a change we will see in the future. And one more important thing, we're going to give you a quick demonstration of the Bose premium audio system that this truck has. Hopefully that gives you a good idea. It sounds fantastic in person. I hope it does for you too. All right, we're gonna get out on the road for a really quick test drive. And I know the number one question a lot of people are going to ask about this truck is going to be, what is the ride quality like? Is it different than any other trim level? Say the ZR1, for example. It does seem to be a little more rigid than maybe my GMC Sierra 2500. If you're familiar with the GMC Sierras, I have the SLT trim level, so that's definitely not going to be comparable to the ZR2, obviously, as far as this truck goes. A little bit more of a rigid ride. I wouldn't say it's too bad, not a massive difference, so hopefully that helps in answering that question. This is a very versatile truck in so many different ways. Easy to handle, easy to drive. And one thing, with no sunroof here, I can only tell you about this. I do have other videos that show it in other trucks with similar technology. But I know one thing a lot of people have asked about, can you leave the cameras on when you are driving? With this 13.4-inch touchscreen, the answer to that question is yes. The previous generation of technology with the center screen did not allow for that. So that is one thing that is different. In case you were curious about that, there's the answer to that question. Easy to learn technology, that's always a good thing. Easy to learn and use. And you're also going to find that the gas and the brake pedal, very easy to adjust to, very responsive. And the get up and go with this truck is not too bad. For being such a large truck, I'd say that a 0 to 60 of roughly 7 seconds flat is not too bad. Nobody's expecting world beater times, at least I don't think so. But I will say these trucks do get up and go quite nicely. Overall, I'd say a very well-rounded truck, comfortable seats, plenty of space, power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger that are both heated and ventilated. That's going to be very useful for everybody. Overall, I'd say if you're looking for a good HD truck with a gas-burning engine, this is one you really need to check out. There it is, the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD ZR2, and everything you need to know about this truck. Tell me what you think about it. Is there something missing that you would like to see in the future? Or do you think this is the perfect truck for you? I'm always curious to know. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Chevy Land for giving me the opportunity to borrow this truck to tell you all about it. There is a link in the description of the video for this truck if you're interested in buying it here in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'd like to also say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.